Tonight on 2020.
I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad.
Don't we all? Tonight, the biggest jackpot ever. For winners, a life of excess.
The biggest thing you bought was what?
My NASCAR team.
But she won $1 million and came right back to work as a waitress.
Are people still giving you tips?
But what if you had the winning lottery ticket and handed it to a man in a convenience store by mistake?
It's disheartening. It's horrible.
She fished her $1 million ticket out of a trash can.
I did not believe it even when I took it to the lottery office.
One man wins, then his boss tries to claim the prize. How those surveillance cameras tell all tales. And what numbers should you play?
Your birthday.
Your birthday, that's a terrible idea.
The deep end of the lottery office pool. Is it full of sharks?
Money changes people, it changes everything.
Is your life going to change when the ping pong balls drop tonight? Lotto Frenzy. Be careful what you wish for.
Good evening, I'm Barbara Walters. Well, the countdown begins 1 hour from now. A random selection of numbers may revolutionize your life in the biggest lottery ever in 44 states throughout the country. Somebody, maybe you, could win more than $500 million. They've been selling 13 million tickets per hour today. So what are your odds of winning? Slim. You are much more likely to be elected President of the United States. And yet tens of millions of us have bought tickets. Even I have with 7 colleagues. If you bought tickets too, stay tuned, because we're not sure that money does buy happiness. For some, it buys greed and jealousy. And yet for others, it buys peace of mind and fulfillment.
So what's it like to win the lottery?
It's disheartening. It's horrible.
Okay, clearly we have a story here. Over the course of a 2-hour exclusive interview with Emily Leach, she laughed, cried, and pondered this simple question.
If you had mistakenly given a lottery ticket to somebody, whose is it? Yours or theirs?
I think it's mine because I paid for it.
Let's begin by going back. 3 years ago, Emily was found to have a massive tumor on her pancreas. She lost weight, moved in with her mom, and had to leave her beloved job at the VA in California.
When you came out of all of that, how much in debt were you?
About $300,000.
$300,000 in debt. No insurance?
No insurance.
Then in January, she pops into this convenience store in Mountain View to play the lottery.
Never thinking you'd win anything.
Never thinking I would win anything.
Oh, she won a ton, $1 million with one ticket.
What was that moment like?
It was surreal.
Now, by all accounts, Emily has a good heart, but she's a soft touch.
Did people start contacting you?
The first night that it aired, I received a call from a family member that I hadn't heard from ever, asking me to help pay off his house. He was going to lose his house. My biological father, who hasn't shown any interest in me in 15 years, is now a good friend of mine, I guess.
You gave him money?
He's my dad. What am I supposed to do?
But now, here's where things start getting tricky. Last Sunday, she returns to the same store where she won her $1 million. That's her on the shop's surveillance cam. She says one of the 2 guys behind her recognizes her as a lottery winner and asks for help.
What is he asking for?
I've got kids to feed. It's wrong of me to ask, but I really do need the help. And he's crying. How do you say no to somebody that is asking you for help, knows that you hit the lottery, knows that you're up on your luck right now?
Way up on your luck. Incredibly, she's going to buy another big winning ticket.
Now here comes the crucial moment.
Here comes the crucial moment.
Flustered with tickets, money, and on the phone with her doctor, she gives both men $100. And she says, by mistake, her lottery tickets. The mystery man on the left thanks her and leaves.
Your intention was what?
To give him $100. $100 bill.
If anyone had been next to you at that moment, would they have thought that you were giving him a lottery ticket as well?
I would not think so, no.
The store clerk has reported a slightly different story.
She's sweet girl, but right now I don't know. She buy $3 mega for two of them. She gets some two guys behind her. That's his ticket, no more her ticket. She lied.
If that's what he thinks, then that's what he thinks. All I know is what I did, and I will be the first to admit that I got flustered. I shouldn't have been doing so many things at once, but I was just trying to help the guy.
Oh, she helped the guy. The ticket Emily bought and the mystery man took turned out to be a $260,000 winner. This is the moment he finds out. When Emily found out this week, she filed a claim with the Lottery Commission, saying the money was hers, and that's when things turned nasty.
I've experienced people calling my home, calling me a greedy bitch, and hanging up.
Why do you want the money?
I don't really. I just want him to say that I bought the ticket. I just want him to tell the truth.
In fact, Emily has a deal for the mystery man, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, a short diversion toward what we might call the curse of winning.
Do you know who Jack Whitaker is?
No.
In this world we're living, it's hard to trust.
Together, Emily and I watched an old 2020 story about Jack Whitaker, a big man who won big time.
I was hoping I'd win it, but I never believed anybody could win.
Nearly $315 million.
We won. What are we going to do?
On Christmas Day 2002, Jack woke up with his stockings full of more loot than Santa could haul on his sleigh.
Santa has chosen to stay in West Virginia.
So how did this turn into this?
You know, my wife had said she wished that she had torn the ticket up. Well, I wish that we had torn the ticket up too.
Like Emily, it began with the best of intentions. But before long, folks started figuring out one good deed.
I need $68,000 or I'm going to lose my home.
Deserved another.
Please put a check for $185,000 in the return envelope.
God forbid if Jack turned a cold shoulder.
A lot of times people got angry.
Everything was changing, even Jack. His marriage began to crumble. He started hanging out at strip clubs. He was in dire straits.
Money for nothing and your chicks for free.
And it got worse, much worse. This is his beloved 17-year-old granddaughter, Brandy, who he showered with cash.
I gave her about $2,000 a week.
And cars.
4.
But his cash and karma stained Brandy too. She and her boyfriend Jesse both became heavy drug users, and in the course of one tragic year, he died of an overdose, and Brandy's body was discovered in a place called Scary Creek, cause of death unknown.
I pretty much lost everything I held dear in my life. I got lots of money, lots of things. I don't have my family.
What do you make of that story?
It's terrible. It's terrible. I feel bad for him because he tried to do the right thing.
And now Emily says she would like to do the right thing by offering to split the lottery winnings with the mystery man. Even so...
Is there any part of you, Emily, that says to yourself, I'm just going to let this go. I've already had a blessing. I'm going to let this one go.
But I want him to tell the truth.
What could $500 million in winnings buy you? 2,000 new Ferraris, bright red. And when we come back, wading into an office pool, like the Lucky 7.
Okay, who sued the Lucky 7 today? Because people kept coming out of the woodwork.
Would you all share or all lawyer up? Lottery feuds still to come. 2020 continues with the office pool.
On the eve of the biggest Mega Millions drawing in history, nearly every single employee at Sheridan Ford in Wilmington, Delaware has put their hopes for vacation homes, new cars, college tuitions, early retirements in Lisa McKibben's hands.
Perfect.
Lisa was the leader of all the office workers, mechanics, the salesmen.
You're in the $10 pool? Yep. All right.
The chosen one to take their hard-earned cash,
$320 worth. Okay.
and bring home the jackpot.
Whose idea was it to put all of that trust into this $540 million lotto?
If we win, it was mine.
If you win $540 million, how much are you taking home?
$7.3 million. We've been on the phone all day doing the calculations.
We've got about a 1 in 175 million chance of winning.
Slim chance is better than no chance.
But those slim odds, they're outweighed by fantasies of fat checks. You've seen those press conferences, the cameras flashing, the close-ups of stunned and smiling coworkers, the breathlessness of instant wealth.
I thought, okay, what do we need to do? Because we now have a little piece of paper that's worth $12 million. And
clutch it and don't
right.
and hide.
Right.
It wasn't just California elementary school principal Karen Pugh who clutched that check last year. It was a jackpot happily divided by everyone, from the janitors to the playground monitor.
What else are you doing with the money you've won?
Well, I bought an iPad in the first month. That was my big expenditure.
Wait, an iPad?
An iPad, yes.
You win almost $500,000 and that was the big expense?
Right, that was my first.
But what so often starts out as tears of joy can quickly turn to tales of bad blood.
Don't just give somebody $1 and just hope everything works out.
Lawyer Eric Shane specializes in lottery litigation, and there's plenty of business out there.
Once a pool wins, money changes the situation, money changes people, it changes everything.
And I'm looking at the numbers and I'm looking at the ticket, and I said, holy I think we won the lottery.
Jennifer Habib's California hospital pool was nicknamed the Lucky Seven. They took home one of the biggest jackpots in U.S. history, $20 million apiece. But the aftermath was nothing like those happy lotto ads. Some hospital colleagues who joined the pool in the past thought they should have won and showed their resentment by suing.
That caught us all off guard.
For a while in our office, it was a standing joke, okay, who sued the Lucky Seven today? Because people kept coming out of the woodwork.
While they successfully fought off the challenges, the acrimony made for some uncomfortable days at work.
It's another set of problems bigger than what you may have had in your life before.
Perhaps the most egregious of all, New Jersey's Amerigo Lopes. He bought the pool tickets for his fellow construction workers, and after he stopped showing up at work, the others found out they had actually won a $38 million jackpot. Lopes claimed he bought the winning tickets separately. Finally, his co-workers sued for their fair share and won.
I think people that work together and are friendly just don't think maybe ahead of time of what could go wrong.
Carol Hedinger of the New Jersey Lottery warns to avoid sharks in the office pool, sign a basic contract outlining the rules, and find a trustworthy, well-organized leader.
If you have in writing who are the members of the pool and how much money they've put in, if you have copies of the tickets before the draw, if you know where the tickets were purchased and when, you've got an ironclad case.
The leader must promise not to buy any personal tickets apart from the pool unless they let others know first. Set a deadline for collecting cash, figure out who holds the tickets and where, and decide in advance how to handle it if a pool member can't contribute that week. When those California elementary school winners played it safe, there were no fights.
We have that comfort knowing that we're all going down this road together. We're not alone.
And the strategy and perhaps the good karma worked not just once. They won the lottery twice. The car dealership in Wilmington is also making sure they don't lose their friendships if they win tonight's big prize. Following another of Commissioner Hedinger's tips, they've made copies of all the tickets and they have their wishes ready.
Each of us could just build a house on our own island and we could be neighbors.
And have rowboats.
Rowboats and row to each other's island.
To keep that dream alive, they're also keeping their lucky numbers protected, locked away until that precious jackpot is finally called.
What could $500 million in winnings buy you? 116,000 round-trip flights to Paris, first class. When we come back, she handed off a winning ticket.
Your intention was what?
To give him $100, $100 bill.
So who gets the money? And when you do, is it a curse? 2020 continues with Money Changes Everything.
And the all-important Mondo Ball number is 21.
It is the moment of delicious deliverance that tonight millions of Americans are dreaming about. Hitting the winning combo on a Mega $1 Million lottery ticket.
No, Grandma, look! Grandma, we won the lottery!
In the movie Lottery Ticket, the main character hits a $370 million jackpot.
We won!
But he finds claiming his riches is not so easy. All sorts of shady characters in his neighborhood come out of the woodwork to try to steal the prize.
You probably won't get beaten up for your ticket, but as it turns out, winning can be half the battle. Between you and your cash often looms a whole treacherous obstacle course filled with really surprising threats, including people you never thought would be laying in wait to take your prize. First obstacle, the kind people at the very store where you bought your ticket.
Check out what happened to this guy, Willis Willis. Yes, that is his real name. In May of 2009, Mr. Willis went to his local convenience store in Dallas, bought a ticket, and the clerk, a guy he knew and liked, told him the ticket was only worth $2.
And I said, $2? He said, yes. You want another ticket? I said, no, give me $2.
Willis later found out he was duped. The clerk, a local college student, cashed in the winning ticket himself for $1 million.
I felt betrayed because it was someone that I knew and trusted.
Now listen to what happened to Sharon Jones last July when she found a handful of discarded lottery tickets in the trash bin at the Super One-Stop store in Beebe, Arkansas.
I did not believe it. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
Digging through the trash for tickets was actually something she did all the time. In Arkansas, you can take used lottery tickets, go to the web, and redeem them for small prizes. But one of the tickets Sharon found was actually worth $1 million.
I did not believe it even when I took it to the lottery office until the check came out.
No one seemed happier for Sharon and her husband William than the manager of the store, Lisa Patrice, who Sharon considered a friend. Lisa even posed for a picture with the happy couple for the local paper and was quoted as saying, "They're really good people, they deserve it."
And I was really happy, you know. And then somebody came knocking on my door with lawsuit papers.
Turns out the friendly store manager sued, claiming that the discarded tickets actually belonged to her.
I feel hurt by Lisa. I just didn't think that she was capable of doing something like that.
The whole thing has landed in court. Meanwhile, Jones's bank account has been frozen.
I mean, my dreams had came true, and then all of a sudden they're shattered.
But the obstacles facing a newly minted lottery winner extend well beyond the people at the store where the ticket's been bought. It can also include the people closest to you in the entire world, your family.
In one famous family feud, Phyllis Klingabeel sued her own son, Michael, after he refused to share a more than $2 million jackpot.
Well, how would you feel if your mother did this to you?
And then there's the case that pitted sister against sister. 84-year-old Teresa suing 87-year-old Rose over a $500,000 winning Powerball ticket. Rose got to keep the money. They're still not talking.
And now here's another obstacle on the route between you and your loot, your boss.
Look at this surveillance video. You can see Tony Quatok and his girlfriend buying some Jingle Jumbo Bucks scratch-off tickets at a convenience store near Macon, Georgia. You can see how happy Tony is when he wins, $750,000. But when it comes time to receive the check, who's this guy? That is Tony's boss, Eric Cervantes, smiling for the cameras.
He went and asked me for money to get some beer and stuff. That's when I say, oh, and get a lottery ticket as well.
That is not the way Tony sees it, and there is a fascinating twist here. Turns out Tony is an undocumented immigrant. He says he gave the lottery ticket to his boss, an American citizen, who promised to give him the winnings. Tony is now in a detention center.
Él bien sabe que el ticket es mío.
He knows the ticket is mine, he told us. He's just making up stories so he doesn't look bad. Earlier this month, after deliberating for just 35 minutes, a jury awarded Tony the money plus punitive damages. But Tony is still in limbo. The case is on appeal, and he is facing deportation.
But here's the good news. If you're persistent and you have a good lawyer, you can get past all the obstacles and finally claim your money.
In the end, that's what happened to our friend Willis Willis. The clerk who stole his lottery ticket was indicted for fraud. And after a court fight, Willis was given $395,000. Today, he's living large.
I go play golf every day. But other than that, I'm the same person I was when I won that ticket.
What could $500 million in winnings buy you? If you're hungry, 125 million Quarter Pounders with cheese. Still ahead, how do you handle a lot of money with a big smile on your face? One winner reveals.
I'll still go use coupons at the store.
Millions of dollars and you clip coupons?
Yes.
And if you're this millionaire waitress, you go back to work.
I love my job. It's my little home away from home.
When we return.
What will you do if your ticket comes up? An ABC poll online this week told us that 80% of you would quit your job. Good idea? Bad idea? You're about to meet a couple of instant millionaires who found their bliss in very different ways. Does money buy happiness? Well, 3 years ago, Joe Dinette won big. His randomly chosen numbers were transformed into an unimaginable fortune, over $75 million. Suddenly, with a seemingly bottomless bag of money, he even bought his own NASCAR team.
If I can win, anybody can win.
I was excited. I had fun the whole day. I was on pure adrenaline.
For Joe, the win came just in the nick of time. What was your life like before you won the lottery?
Rough. I was unemployed. I was in construction, and major cutbacks because of the economy made me sit at home for a long time.
123.
On a whim, in May of 2009, he played the Mega Millions lottery. Unemployed, and you spent money on lottery tickets.
Got to take a chance. If you win, you don't work anymore, so.
And that is exactly what happened. The newly minted multimillionaire went on a 3-year shopping spree, spending close to $20 million. 8 cars.
This is my toy.
A fleet of ATVs, a boat, 2 tour buses.
This is pretty much the home away from home when we go to the races.
6 houses.
We call that end of the house the east wing. We just wanted a swing set big enough where all the kids can come out and play.
And for his wife Megan, a 4-carat diamond. Did the lottery make a difference?
It's a different lifestyle now. We don't have to worry about work and paying some bills, and we can enjoy our time together.
The biggest thing you bought was what?
I would say my NASCAR team.
Joe invested $1.5 million in a NASCAR racing team, 2 trucks, and 20 employees. How much do you have now?
Right now, I'd say roughly between 25 and 30 million.
Which means that Joe has spent almost half of his windfall. Not a problem, he says. Do you feel secure?
Yes, I do. Completely.
But Megan still worries about the bottom line.
So I've always had to worry about money coming in.
Yeah.
And now that I just want to make sure that we're okay and our kids are okay. Yeah, tell
We
them
don't
about our
have to
checking.
worry about money. We don't.
We have separate checking accounts.
Yeah?
And he gives me an allowance. Because I'm afraid to spend his money and I don't want to use it up.
And Megan has not lost her pre-lottery frugality.
I'll still go use coupons at the store.
Really?
Yeah. Huh. And he laughs at
Yes,
me.
it's funny when she'll get a letter in the mail and she goes, "Look, I got a $5 coupon off a formula." I'm like, okay.
Did winning the lottery buy you happiness?
It makes things a lot easier. It makes me financially independent, and with all of that comes happiness. It's nice to be able to get up in the morning and say, I don't have to go to work.
But in contrast, Alexandra Chaw, a 21-year-old waitress in Clearwater, Florida, says going to work every day means a lot more than winning the lottery. In January, she bought a Monopoly scratch-off ticket and went to the beach.
At first I thought it was $1,000 that I won. I was freaking out that I won $1,000, and then I kept scratching and there was more zeros. And I don't remember much from then. My body went weak. I couldn't move. I saw people starting to stare at me. So I called my boyfriend. He wasn't answering. So I rode my bicycle back home to tell him. But first I sat outside and got my thoughts together and tried to breathe. And I went inside and I asked him if he had any doubts about me.
Yeah.
You need to tell me now because I'm young and I need to move on.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah, I'm going to marry you one day. Everything's going to be okay. And then I said, yay, because I won $1 million. Good answer.
After giving herself a day off, Alexandra returned to her waitressing job,
Need any hot sauce or anything else?
taking home $400 a week, including tips.
Sometimes if it's a great week, 500, 600.
Are people still giving you tips? Even
Yes,
though they
they
know?
give me more. I mean, they're proud of me. So it keeps me wanting to go back, too. Keeping them coming to see me.
You just made our day, too.
I love my job. It's my little home away from home. They become my little family, so it's more than just work.
2 days after the win, Alexandra waited for the money to be wired to her overdrawn bank account.
It was funny because I was actually negative and I was trying to take my brothers out to lunch. And I said, I'll go through in an hour or so. By the time we're ready to pay our tab, it'll be in there. So we sat there and we just got some more food and hung out a little bit longer.
You're sitting in the restaurant, you don't have the money for lunch. You wait long enough and then there's $1 million in your bank account. Suddenly, flush with cash, Alexandra paid off her student loans. Did you buy anything for yourself?
I bought myself a car.
Anything else?
A camera.
So the money hasn't really changed your life?
Not at all.
Not at all?
When we sit here and talk, it's still, is this real? Is this really happening?
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll ever feel real. I don't. I constantly check my bank account to see if it's there.
And Alexandra still lives with her roommates, her boyfriend Nathan, and her dog Murphy.
Go, Murph!
Are you going to stay with the 4 roommates?
Absolutely.
Have you made new friends, lost friends, angered your roommates?
Surprisingly, I had people tell me a lot of bad things that could happen, and so far everything is perfect.
Alexandra, does money buy happiness?
I think there's certain people that believe that money buys them happiness. I'm such a happy person. I believe that life is a gift. I ask myself, why is it me that won the lottery, the $1 million? Why me when I'm happy working all the time and supporting myself? I believe it was given to me because I'm going to do something great with it and because I just feel like this is the opportunity to start a new chapter and not look back.
Still to come, they call it El Gordo, the fat one, the biggest lottery on earth. And all 250 people in this town won it, except for him.
You're like the kid who didn't get any presents from Santa Claus.
Exactly. The luckiest town in the world. 2020 continues with the big one.
In Spain, every Christmas time, the whole country goes El Gordo crazy. The big one. It's bigger, much bigger than anything. In the US, El Gordo is the fattest lottery on earth. And Sodeto is a 2-horse town a couple of hours outside of Barcelona. El Gordo's pot bulges with more than $2 billion. Yep, $2 billion total prize money. The live TV draw is a national event. 250 people live in Sodeto, and a whole lot of cows and sheep. Drought and economic woes have bitten hard. December 22nd this past year, Spain collectively perched on the edge of the couch, waiting, watching, hoping. These numbers fell. And El Gordo gave Sodeto the biggest, wettest kiss imaginable. Every man, woman and child in this two-horse town won a fat slice of the gargantuan El Gordo pie. Eduardo is a shepherd. His family won $500,000. Pedro Luis is a truck driver. He won't say how much he won. And that is Sandra.
I was at work. Everybody was around me. I was shaking. I was screaming like, "Oh my God! I got the lottery!" But I didn't know where I had the ticket.
Where did you find it?
Well, I had it in a pile like that.
Sandra banked $130,000. Everyone in town won at least that much. And they partied all night long. Olé, as they say.
Ecstasy when you realised it was your number. Terror when you thought you'd lost the ticket.
Lost it. Yeah.
And then
it was like, I don't know how to describe it.
Maria Jose bagged nearly $400,000 and sent her two sons to Cancun on vacation. Thanks for their years of back-breaking work in the family's cornfields.
Ir a la playa y fiesta y pues.
I don't think that needs translation.
Marie Carmen is an unemployed cook.
Is this her car?
Sí.
Very nice.
No podemos mirarnos con...
We were chatting to the mayor when a banker scurried out of town hall. The bankers have been here since a half hour after those balls dropped. No kidding. They came with the luxury car dealers.
Yeah, the bankers, the car sellers. I don't know, it's surreal in a way.
But in these parts, they're more interested in new tractors.
Any of you guys win the lottery? You can come down and talk to us?
Okay.
Yep, Jose's family won nearly $1 million. And they're pimping their farmhouse. Every man, woman and child won, well, except one guy. Yep, just one guy.
And this is where that guy lives. His name is Costis, the only guy in the village not to get a slice of the cash. I don't know what to expect. An embittered man drowning his sorrows in red wine. I don't know, we'll see. Costas, I almost don't know what to say. I mean, you're like the kid who didn't get any presents from Santa Claus.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's how it all played out. The local Housewives Association bought a few $1,000 worth of tickets. Everyone bought at least one, except Costas, because they forgot to knock on his door.
Everyone else in town has a slice of pie.
A big one.
So I feel very sorry for him. I'm helping him out as much as I can, and I will keep doing it. But I know it's not the same feeling to have won it for yourself.
In Sodeto, nearly everyone, sorry Costas, is a winner. And we're talking lump sum, no tax. No tax at all. They're determined to enjoy life the same as always, but with money in the bank and not a care in the world.
People have stayed the same.
People are as they were before.
Great.
Happier.
Watching the sunset and counting their cash. Where it came from, why they have it, well, they might never quite get their heads around that.
What could $500 million in winnings buy you? A daily house cleaning for the next 6,800 years. And when we come back, he told us the odds are 176 million to 1, but he bought 5 tickets. His tricks to take home the biggest prize. 2020 continues with Make Your Own Luck.
Been stuck in line searching for that winning ticket? Better duck! You're 17 times more likely to get hit by falling airplane parts than winning Mega Millions. Do you have lottery fever? Well, the odds will sure make you ill.
Your chance of winning the lottery on a single ticket is maybe 100 times smaller than the chance of dying from flesh-eating bacteria.
Yes, the odds of winning tonight are 1 in 176 million. Infuriatingly small. It would take super serious luck. So is there any way at all to make lottery luck?
Do not play quick picks.
I'm just gonna buy the quick pick.
How about picking magical, mystical numbers like the ones Hurley hit big on in the hit ABC show Lost.
16 and 23 with the mega number 42.
This is the 16th week without a winner.
Now thousands of people are saying, thank you, Hurley. Last year, more than 20,000 people played his numbers and won more than $150 apiece when 4 of the lost Lotto numbers popped up in the very real Mega Millions. Damon Lindelof was the show's executive producer.
Just the idea that the show was still rattling around in their brain enough
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42. Those are the numbers I won the lottery with.
for them to think that the numbers would give them some degree of luck was, it was just awesome.
Are these numbers really magical?
I'm starting to feel like they're a little bit like Dumbo's magic feather, where if you believe that they're magical enough.
Of course, there is one problem with this.
Ever since I won the lottery, it's like the money's cursed or something. Ow!
That's blasphemy.
When Hurley won the lottery, it essentially cursed him, culminating in him being in a plane crash.
Are you concerned you've cursed thousands of people?
I think that probably the ending of Lost was more responsible for cursing people than the lottery numbers, but it's an enormous burden, eased only by my hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay, aside from the whole curse thing,
No such thing as curses, huh, Ma?
from a mathematical standpoint, is picking those numbers a good strategy?
That's a terrible idea.
Professor Skip Garibaldi is a mathematician at Emory University. He's done extensive research into the lottery and has brutal findings on people's favorite ways to get lucky.
No quick picks.
That's a bad idea.
Never pick numbers that have won before.
No help.
Always pick the same numbers.
Doesn't help.
Buy your tickets from a small town.
No difference.
Your birthday.
Your birthday, that's a terrible idea. You can't change the odds of winning the jackpot by picking in the way you pick numbers.
That's so sad, isn't it?
It is, but on the other hand, as a mathematician, I think it's beautiful.
Sometimes math trumps luck. Of course, you can increase your odds by buying more tickets, but even that has limits. Say you bought every possible number combination. Sure, you'd guarantee yourself a winning ticket, but there's a 60% chance at least 2 other people win also. After taxes and everything, you lose a fortune. But that doesn't mean you're completely helpless. You can boost your winnings.
You can hope to pick numbers so that if you do happen to win the jackpot, hopefully no one else has picked those same numbers so you don't have to share it.
So stay away from popular lucky numbers like 3, 7, and 11. Also,
a lot of people will pick things involving dates. Anything over 31, I think you're in a less popular territory.
just because there is little you can do to make luck in the lottery, it doesn't mean there's nothing you can do to make luck in life. British psychologist Dr. Richard Wiseman studied hundreds of people who described themselves as lucky and unlucky for over a decade.
To a very large extent, you are creating a lot of your own luck.
A positive, open outlook can make you a winner at something. As part of a BBC documentary done on his work, Dr. Wiseman conducted some hidden camera experiments with volunteers. When money is planted on the street, it's the lucky people who notice it more often.
Lucky people are very open to these unexpected opportunities. They're seeing the bigger picture.
We would all welcome a little luck.
Did you buy a ticket?
I did. I bought 5.
Does the mathematician in you say, this is a really dumb move?
Right, but so is buying a candy bar, right? I mean, the candy bar is actually worse because you lose the money and then you're eating the candy bar, which is bad for you. Now I'm just losing the money with the lottery tickets.
There is always that chance, and there's always another lottery.
So a few seconds from now, you will find out if this will become the night that changes your entire life. If you've won more than $500 million and collected more than $500 million new best friends. For all of us at ABC News, I'm Barbara Walters. Good night and good luck.